$1,466 per month on my student loans. Like, that's New York City rent. Hey peeps, my name is Rina and welcome to my anxiety-filled life. The purpose of this channel is to basically document my life and my personal journey as I become a budding adult. I would definitely say that the main focuses for my channel will definitely be my debt payoff journey, as well as self-reflection and then excelling in my current career. Now that I'm done rambling, let's go into the video. Today, I want to start off by focusing on my student loan journey. As a fellow millennial, I hope my story definitely resonates with a lot of people who are basically surmounting this huge amount of debt, and that's definitely the case for me. With the amount of money that I borrowed, I could have honestly purchased like a modest home or a condo in New York City, which is mind-blowing to me. Mind-blowing or depressing? Find out next time on Driving Bossy. Anywho, before I get into the numbers, let me explain how I got into the situation in the first place. And don't mind my phone. I'm just, looking at my notes that I have, so I, stay on track. So I attended Syracuse University for 5 years. My major was civil engineering. That's what I studied for the entire 5 years I was there. Yes, you heard right. It took me 5 years to graduate. Unlike, most people who finish it in 4. That just wasn't the case for me, but that's a story for another day. I chose SU because, one, I fell in love with their engineering program and all it had to offer. I fell in love with the campus because I visited the campus during my senior year. When you go visit the colleges. And then another reason why I wanted to go there is because it was 4 hours away. I'm from New York City, so that was the perfect amount of distance to be far away and enough from home that I can go back home if I needed to, but far enough that I had my own freedom. And that was very important to me. For those of you that aren't aware, civil engineering is one of the oldest professional disciplines of engineering that basically deals with design, construction, and maintenance of public works, so bridges, tunnels, roads, public transportation like railways, dams, etc. The only other YouTuber that I know that studied civil engineering was Kiara Mack. I still watch her. I love her natural hair videos. So if you get a chance, please check her out because you will not be disappointed. So basically, I graduated from SU in 2017 and was handed my 8.5 by 11 piece of paper to show my accomplishment. And it is currently hung on my wall in a gold foil frame to make me feel less depressing about the amount of money that I owe. That's what it is. That's what it is. Moving on. First, my parents had agreed to pay for my education, but at the time they didn't realize how expensive SU was. Could I have gone to a school that was in New York City for cheaper? Yes, but I felt like some of their education programs weren't what I was looking for, so SU it was. For those of you that don't know, SU at the time when I applied in 2012, the tuition was $60K per year, which was pretty much the standard for all of the colleges that I was looking at. So I already had that in mind that I knew I had to pay that. I ended up getting about $30K in financial aid from SU per year. I obviously still had to worry about the other $30K. And of that $30K included a small portion of, federal loans, the little subsidized, unsubsidized, I think it was the Pell Grant or something like that. But yeah, that was included in my $30K. It was a small portion of it, but still, it's still money I have to pay back. It wasn't a grant. and the remaining $30K was a grant that I didn't have to pay back. Also, I'm not throwing my parents under the bus anyway. Like, they were definitely unaware. Like, when they went to college way back when, it was definitely cheaper for them than it is now. So they didn't really understand, like, how much it was going to cost per year. They thought I was going to be able to, you know, they were going to be able to just pay it off, and then I would also work through school and help pay it off. And it would be easy peasy, but obviously it's not the perfect scenario. Even though they couldn't pay for school, I was very blessed and grateful that they were able to send money per month. It was like usually like $300 to $400 per month that they were sending me, so that I can, you know, buy food, have fun, etc. Spend that money on whatever I need, toiletries, that type of stuff. So it definitely got me through, and I'm blessed because I know other kids didn't have, you know, their parents. Well, it was SU, so most of them were rich kids, but the rest of us who were not rich, you know, had to depend on our parents or federally. My dad also helped with my in-school payments for my loans, but I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But definitely helpful because it kind of brought down the accrued interest that was, you know, building up. Because mind you, I was borrowing loans since like 2012, so it's 2020 now. Imagine how much has like accrued since then. Also, my parents helped with co-signing my loans because obviously I didn't have a credit score yet. I'm fresh out of high school. I don't have a credit score. I know some parents allow their kids to have credit cards, but you know, in high school and stuff like that. But my parents didn't want me to get a credit card like until I got into college. So unfortunately, both of them had to co-sign, which was very risky on their end because if, you know, I skipped a payment or something like that, obviously it would be detrimental to their credit scores. So I always made an agreement to myself and with them that I would never let it get to that, and that I would be responsible with, you know, I always kind of had it in my mind that it was implied that, you know, I was going to be responsible, so considering that they were, you know, willing to risk their credit score to put me through school. So, yeah. Thanks, Mom and Dad. I actually applied to many scholarships, whether it's like writing an essay or, you know, doing video or submitting something. It always boiled down to like I didn't, you know, meet the eligibility requirements, or my parents made too much money, you know, in terms of their like gross income, and I understood that. So I was in that weird spot where I wasn't poor enough to get money, but I also wasn't rich enough. I wasn't rich at all, actually, now I think about it. I wasn't rich enough to pay for school by myself, so weird spot. And I know a lot of millennials like me go through that same change where they're just in that weird spot where they're just not able to get financial aid. Mind you, I thought it was gonna be easy to get scholarships because I had a great GPA, like all throughout middle school, high school, everything. Always make sure I was at the top, one of the top people in my class. I did a lot of extracurricular activities, whether it was like sports or like after school clubs. Yeah, I really thought it was gonna be easy. Oh, my SAT scores were good too. So I was like, oh, it's gonna be easy. People gonna be throwing money at me. Wrong. So never think like that, like it's gonna be easy. There's a lot of scholarships out there. It's probably better now. Don't ever think it's gonna be easy. Actually work for those scholarships. Try to get as many as you can, honestly. So yeah, at first I was really determined to get my entire education funded through scholarships, but that just didn't work out for me. So I had to resort to the most brutal, most biggest pimps that there are out there. Sally Mae and her fraternal brother Navient. Y'all know them. And a moment of silence. I know many of us have had to deal with these two. I know there's other, you know, loan servicers, but these are like two of the most popular that I know other people have had to deal with. But you don't have to deal with them forever. I might do a video about that another time. If you want to hear more about that, just let me know in the comments. So I started out with 11 loans in total, 10 of those coming from both Sally Mae and Navient. You know, they're like sister companies. And then one from Great Lakes. That was the federal loan. Right now I only have 2 loans, one through Mohila /Lower Road, and one from Great Lakes, which is my federal loan. I just got that one. I can break out this story, but in short, the answer is my grand total is...
Well, we're waiting.
$135,700. Mistakes were made. I admit that. But I'll have to deal with it. I borrowed the loans, not gonna pay them back. So it is what it is. As of 2017, before my grace period ended in November, the most I've owed is $193,500.
No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am.
Yes. $193,500. Almost $200K. Crazy. I know I'm laughing, but at the same time, like, I'm crying on the inside. Don't worry. I'm not like, it's not a joke to me at all because that's a house, like I said before. Full disclosure, it didn't help me until like sophomore year that I was gonna have to pay that much. Like, I am a like spreadsheet type of girl, like whether it's Excel or Google Sheets. I like to calculate everything. That's just how I am. That's how I'm organized. Then like I calculated like how much I'm gonna have to pay, how much I would owe by the time I graduated, and then the interest like from the time I graduated to the end of my grace period. And I honestly, I broke down. It felt very like heavy on me. Like, it was kind of like detrimental. Like, I'm gonna have to pay this enormous amount of money, and it's not guaranteed that I'm going to have a job after I graduate. And everybody knows this. Like, it's never guaranteed that you're gonna get a job no matter what field you're in. Yes, some majors definitely increase your chances of having a job after school, but it's never guaranteed. I'm not gonna lie, like, it was definitely one of my lowest points in my young life. I kind of like fell into a depressive state because I'm just like thinking back, like, I used to have like a lot of anxiety attacks, nightmares of like what my life would be after college if I didn't, if I didn't amount to like the success that I wanted. And I cried a lot to sleep. Obviously, I didn't tell my friends or my family, so this is probably the first time they're hearing it, if they're seeing it right now. There were a few people I told, but like, you know how people kind of like cover up their hurt with like a laugh. So it's like, oh my God, like, I owe this amount of money, but like, ha ha ha. That was me. So, I didn't treat it as serious. Like, it was serious in my head, but I didn't want people to know how much it was affecting me at the time. I'm just like thinking back, like, I'm just grateful that I came out of that state. Like, I wanted to drop out of school. Like, I was like, you know what? I borrowed this much up to this now. Why don't I just pay back this amount and then like go into a trade or something, or just find a job and just drop out, move in with my boyfriend at the time. And just call it a day. Like, that was the plan. It was like a very rough time. Almost lost my RA job. Almost lost my scholarship. It was really bad. But I picked myself up, and I'm here today to tell the story. So yeah. After almost 3 years in my industry, my degree definitely has been paying off. I've been in the same industry since I graduated, mostly focusing on like construction. Now that I'm in my third job since graduating, I think I finally found a job where I feel comfortable, I feel confident in my skills and my abilities, and I think this is the company that I might stay in forever. Well, not forever, but as long as I can, honestly. I do have other plans, but they're kind of on the back burner for now until I pay off my loans. Until I pay off a substantial amount of my loans, then, you know, I'll be happy. Right now, at my current job, I'm making more than enough to pay off my basic bills, rent, things that I actually want, as well as paying off my, you know, student loans every month. And for you guys to know, I pay off about, what is the number? Let me see. $1,466 per month on my student loans. Like, bitch, that's New York City rent. Like, honestly, if I didn't have student loans, I would be living my best life right now. Like, I would be traveling like every single month. Like, all that money, well, some of it obviously would be going on to savings, but that's the thing. Right now, I'm able to pad enough into my savings, so this would just be extra spending money. Like, but you know, I got student loans, so I made my bed. I'm not gonna lie in it. It's fine. You know, it is what it is. But you know, until I pay it off, you know, I'm just gonna keep staying positive. I'm gonna keep tracking, keep putting more money towards my loans, and then hopefully I'll be able to live the life that I've always envisioned for myself. Yeah, that's what I'm reaching toward. If you made it here to the end, thank you so much for kicking it with me. Hopefully I wasn't too boring or anything like that. Hopefully it was an intriguing story. Obviously there's more parts to it, but I just wanted to give you a little intro into my student loan story. My next video would either be a Q&A or, I don't know, maybe a budgeting video, so you can see like how I budget every month with my student loans included in it, because obviously it's a big chunk of my my monthly bills. So just let me know what you want to see in the comments. If you do want to do a Q&A, just let me know what questions, and then I'll answer in the next video. Alright, thanks guys. Bye!
Young, broken, independent, not broken, not quitting, I'ma get it. Even though I still struggle, I'm sufficient. Like what's up, aiming how it's business. Believe me, it's finna happen. They call them detours, we call it passion. How many no's you receive? I just stopped counting. So why you still doing this shit? I'ma cash in the fountain. See this dream dance between my ear canal, lives inside my heart like a future child. Possess the wisdom in between my smile. The world gotta see me, it may take a while. That's okay, it's prepared for. Played a lot of shows I had to pay for. Define the crowd, me, myself, and I, and the DJ and my homeboys. Good things take some time, I'm like, ooh yeah. Patience is a virtue when I'm moving. Looking at my life, it's a movie. Lot of ups and downs, I'm sticking to it. I got the sauce, I got the drip. I make the play, I get the assist. Impossible, it exists. The slow grind made a better trip.
Click. Deuces. Okay. Or pay off like until I pay off a substantial amount. Until I pay off mind-blowing or depressing? We'll find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.